Hey up guys, it's Ricky here with another super duper useful lesson. Something that you can actually implement and use it to make progress in your guitar playing. Now this is all about bar chords, and these are two riffs, if you will, that I learned in my early days of playing guitar. And these two riffs help me to really get stamina with my bar chords and understand the physiology of the bar chord and how it works and the best way that it came about for me. Now, I wasn't very cognitive of this. I wasn't aware of how it was working until I analysed it by teaching to my students for the last 30 years, longer than that actually, but we won't get into that because that means I'm old and I'm not. These two riffs helped me to build stamina, and when I look back at them, I know that they had a massive effect on getting me to be able to play chord changes very, very smoothly. Now, they're all bar chords of these. So the first one we're going to look at is Spin Doctor's Two Princes. This is based around four chords, just four chords. D, B minor, A and G. Now we could play these with open, cowboy chords, here. We're still going to have to encounter a B minor. Let's just use this as an exercise to get those bar chords down, build the stamina, build the muscle strength, because to be frank, the muscles here, they're only little muscles and we need to develop them and make them strong. So if you play along with me, then hopefully it will be something that helps you get better at playing your bar chords. What we're going to do first is we're going to play the D chord here at the 10th fret. Now, what's cool about this is we get to use the double dots to help us to find our spot. But when we're putting the bar chord on, what we want to do is we want to do this thing that I call scout. With the middle finger, we get the shape, and then we put the bar on last. So you can hear that gives me my D chord, that's D major. Now the reason this works is because the anatomy of your hand and the way your ligaments are assembled in your hand, the anatomy, and I learnt this from a surgical book called Gray's Anatomy. Having a look at the structure of that, it tells you that the movement of the ligaments do not like this idea of where you put the bar on and then put the shape on. Your hand feels uncomfortable. And because your hand feels uncomfortable, what's going to happen is your brain will tell you a lie that it's something that you cannot do. And that is the lie. And that's why you give up, because you think bar chords are too hard. You look around on the internet, everybody moans about bar chords. It doesn't have to be that way. What we do is we scout, we shape, we bar. So it's a three-part process. So when I do this, then that enables me to get that chord on there. So there's my D. Now what I'm going to do is move down here to this 7th fret here, and I'm going to take the whole shape down with me, but I don't release my whole hand. I don't take my hand off the chord like that, for instance. What I do is I keep my fingers on the strings, and those grooves that you've made, that you've pained to make happen in there, hopefully where the calluses are forming, what we do is we take them grooves and then we use them to guide our fingers down to the next chord. We unsqueeze the shape of the chord, the grip, and then we slide down to the 7th fret here. And then when I get there, this chord needs to become a B minor. And the way this becomes a B minor is I just change the shape here. So this is an E shape and this is an E minor shape. So look, the difference between that is taking this second finger off there. So if I take that finger off, that's an E minor shape, that's an E shape. So look, and it's all related to caged is this, and this is just all about E shapes here. So we take that there, and what we do is we take that middle finger off. We can use that and stack. You can even lean a little bit onto your bar there if that helps you to press down a bit. And then you can hear that we get that E minor shaped B minor chord there. Just worth having a look is, you see this G string, give that a pick on its own. And what I'm doing, I'm just making sure I can hear that that note is there in the chord, because that there, that D note, is the note that gives the chord its tonality. That's the minor third. That's the note that makes that a minor chord. So look, major chord, B major, take that finger off, B minor. Okay, so far what we've got is we've got a D here at the 10th fret, using those double dots to help me to see where I'm going. And I could do that by going scout, shape, bar, play that twice, just strum it twice, yeah? So we go, Strum it down twice. Target with my eyes. Look before I move. So I'm looking at the target fret, and then I just slide the shape down. And as I slide down, I take this middle finger off to leave it as a minor shape. So there, look. Strum it twice. Now we're going to move down to the next dot here, but I want an A major. Because it's major, I have to put the finger back on again. And this movement between that middle finger, it's a good exercise to help you to just get that kinesthetic feeling down. You could just sit there doing this, changing from major to minor if you want to, just working on that, making sure that chord sounds clean. And then the last chord in this progression, in this riff, if you will, this goes D, B minor, A major, and it goes to a G major, which is just here. And this is exactly the same shape that we've had here. But what we're doing is we're looking at 10, 7, 5, 3, and we're targeting those shapes, remembering to take that middle finger off there, put it back on, and then leave it on for the G, and then we're going to do a big targeting run from the 3rd fret to the 10th fret. What you've got to do is, when you're down here, you want to make sure that you don't look off into some other area. You've got to look and make sure you hit your target. If you don't look where you're meant to be targeting, you'll miss it. And this is one of the things that people do. I've had students that say, oh yeah, I'm going to play it for you, but I'm not going to look at my hands. And they get it wrong. And you don't want to get it wrong, because that diminishes the feedback that you need to feel as if you're making some progress. So here's the riff in total. So we've got this D, strum it twice, 2 on the B minor, then 2 on the A, and then 2 on the G. Target, slide to the B minor. We're targeting between each chord. Slide. Look. That should start to feel like you're getting somewhere with that. Now, if you experience any sharp pain in your hand, don't carry on. But if you feel like you are working the muscles and they feel awkwardly sensitive, then that's okay. But if it's sharp pain, then don't try and fight your way through pain. Like I say, this is one of those exercises that if you are trying to conquer bar chords, then it's very much worth doing it. But if you're not ready for bar chords yet, that's okay as well, because you don't have to play every chord as bar chords. So let me just show you what we could do with this. We could do it as a cheat version, just to show you there is a workaround. But this lesson is all about developing your bar chords. So that is the Two Princes riff by Spin Doctors. That's the beauty of that chord progression there. There's loads of chord progressions out there that you can adapt to this idea. The other one, a friend showed me in a guitar shop many years ago, and this starts on a B major here. But what we're going to do is we want to get used to changing string groups here. So we want to move from this E shape to an A minor shape, but we're going to make it a little bit tricky. And this exercise is brilliant for getting you to feel your way around the chords. This scout finger comes into play again. Here's a B bar chord, so a scout shape bar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to an E flat minor. I'll just show you the path of the root notes that we're going to play. A B major, an E flat minor, an A, and then we can call this a D flat minor, yeah? If you want to call it a C sharp, you can do. I'm not going to split hairs over that. So here, there's the B, E flat, A, and then we get this D flat here. The riff is Lay Lady Lay by Bob Dylan. And I found this is a really good exercise for crossing strings with a very similar shape. As you can see, the E shape, if I just move that over, it's exactly the same shape in the fingers. And what happens with the way that we do this scout shape and bar idea is it enables us to move over. We will feel the strings drop into the slots where your fingers are. So it's a deeply kinesthetic exercise. It's all about how it feels. This is how we understand the guitar at first. That's the feedback that we get, because you might play something and you don't even know if the guitar's in tune. So we want to make sure it feels right. We want to match the image of what the chord looks like with the sound, and we want to match it with how it feels. And that's where mastery comes from: kinesthetic, auditory, and visual. We put those three things together and that gets us mastery. But the first thing is kinesthetic. So what we get here is this B chord. Right, and if you remember, what I did is a scout shaped bar, and then I'm going to move down. What I do is I lift my hands off until I feel the strings just skimming the skin of my fingers. They're still in the grooves, holding them there, and I could take them all the way off, but I don't want to do that. I want to maintain this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to secretly scout down here. Look what happens here. This scout finger, this is my focus. It moves down here to the B string on the 7th fret there. And then once I know that's there, all I have to do is apply the shape, apply the bar. Now notice when I play this, it's an A minor shape. And the root note for that chord is on this A string here. It's just here. So we don't want to play the E string. So what I do is I let the tip of my finger mute out this E string here. So if you listen to the E string, I'll pluck it for you. Now, I know you can hear a sound there, but when I strum the chord, the sound of the chord is louder than that muted string. So I fired through that E string as well there with my pick. So what we could do is, if we're muting out here, then we can fire through all 6 strings. And you don't hear the muted string. Or you can play it like a rest stroke, where you rest the pick on the string and just strum down like that. Making sure all the strings are ringing true. Now the cool thing is that this riff, or chord progression if you will, it does the same thing twice. Essentially we're moving from an E-shaped major chord here to a minor chord here that uses an A minor shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to just drop down and do exactly the same thing again, but we're going to do it on the 5th and the 4th fret as well. So if you listen, there's the B. Here is the E flat minor, then we're going to go to the A. Now what we do is we do that scouting thing again, so we're going to go scout with that finger. Look at the distance that I have to think about. It's only a tiny distance. And if you have to do it like this, do you see how I took the chord off? And walk to the note. And then I'm going to walk to this note here as well. And that gives me my D flat minor. So this is the same chord idea. So it's major, minor, major, minor. And if you want to be really on it with this, what you can do is you can just keep going with it. That is lay, lady, lay. So lay, lady, lay. Lay across my big brass bed. Yeah, if you know that one, that chord progression there, then that's what that is there. But as you can see, what we're doing is we're going major, minor, major, minor. I can carry on going. Now the reason this is good is because the lower frets are wider, and that forces your hand to just stretch a little bit more. Just gives you a little bit more resistance in the strings, because as you move down towards these bottom 3 frets, the tension on the action of the strings is a lot harder. This is why the F chord can be difficult. It's easy to play a bar chord here. Yeah, and this is why this is a good exercise, because we've got these bar chords where the string tension is relatively easy versus the hard string tension that we get on an F chord down in this area here. So that can be harder. You could take that and use that as an exercise, reverse it. There's an A minor, F, B minor, G, etc. Carry on as much as you can. And as you go up, you might start to feel that the actual space of the frets, because they're getting smaller, it becomes harder for you to get your fingers in. And that's another challenge that you want to be aware of. Now, if you haven't seen my breakdown of how to play bar chords and make it really easy for yourself, then what you need to do is watch this video here.